about the metaverse, there's not yet one definition about it, but there are many different aspects, rumors probably, experiments going on right now. And I think we can all be sure it's coming one way or the other. We just don't know which way yet. And today in the panel, we would like to elaborate a bit on what is it, but mostly also about the question, when will it be here? How can I get ready for it?
That is, the metaverse is a mix of digital and interconnected experiences that we hope that people can experience and can have shared experiences together, anywhere, using any device, anytime, with people that you love or you want to enjoy with.
A large part of the metaverse isn't a virtual world solely alone as one. A large part of the metaverse taps on digital twin. The fact that our world produce, all of you sitting out there and at home and everywhere else you are, you're producing data right now. You know that, right? Well, if you don't know that, now you do, right? Okay. This data, if harnessed and captured properly, creates a digital twin. That digital twin then forms part of the metaverse.
If I can put in a very simple thing, say, okay, what's the matter? It's the next generation of internet. When you go back to 1969, when internet is invented, nobody knows internet is what. And imagine this can be so far, can go so far and make so much changes in our life today. So make this a little bit miserable, unclear. I think it's fine. Don't try to figure out everything of the meta right now. Having said that, they are virtual. They started with the virtual. The game industry, came with the metaverse concept. But it's virtual, and the virtual make people actually exciting, but also make people fear, because we don't know what's going on in the virtual world. And that's exactly, we are doing actually the focus on enterprise. We focus on real stuff. The enterprise metaverse is the way we focus on, because you have physical product, you have the buildings, you have the environment, then you have a digital layer, which is a digital twin layer, which is the gateway to metaverse, to the virtual world. Then you have an interaction between virtual and physical, and also in the virtual world you can have a better experience and make a better decision. That's it. So that's the way we say, metaverse, particularly for enterprise, from that angle.
The best view to explain the metaverse from my side is the XR, is this extension of reality into a virtual world. And I think, Dr. Liu, what you were trying to say is it's I think a little bit more than just the next phase of an internet, because we got to take a reality, right? We got to do this really substance and this connection, taking more of the human connection, but doing it in a virtual world in a way that we all want to use it and benefit from it. Of course, in the right social ways moving forward.
Overall, we make that like 3 steps. Step 1 is to replicate the physical world into a digital world. That's about visualization of the environment, the building, the product, whatever, right? In a 3D spatial environment. That's step 1. Step 2 is to add data in, right? The IoT, like sensors, CCTVs, a bunch of different technologies we can get to digitize this, add the real-time info. So that digital twin become dynamic real-time. Okay. Then the third step, I usually say is add the brain into the digital twin. So that means you can apply the AI, you can apply machine learning capabilities sitting on top of this, the digital twin environment. Then you can make a better decision. And if you look at this, it's one side is physical, digital, data, digital, interaction, decision. Another element actually is the time. In the digital twin, in the metaverse environment, with this, you can actually understand what's going on now, but you can also go back to say, okay, what happened last night, right? And the more important, with the technology development, we will be able to make a better decision for futures, through simulation, machine learning, other things. So it's a time zone as well. We call it, the time machine here, right? So this is basically the, what we do. Of course, in the user case wise, it can be, from the the environment like this to building to city. For example, we did a project with the utility, critical utility. In that, we can use the CCTV plus the wearable sensor technologies plus the access control. In the 3D digital twin environment, you can actually seamlessly understand what's going on and have a better safety security, environment, right? Or
you can also simulate scenarios in there.
In that case, well, not simulation, but more on the understand. But we can go back and also make a better decision, right? Yeah, analyzing that exactly. And then for the building like this, I think a lot of companies actually are requested to develop the the initiative for ESG. How you can make this building carbon zero? Actually, we had a collaboration with the NUS in the carbon zero first carbon zero building in a US campus. So we actually help them to break down the information system silos. So we connect the parking system, BMS, robots, different 20 systems into that environment. You can actually not just to visualize and understand, but you can track, you can even control in the virtual world of the physical world. So those are the the user case typically, and you can also have a return from that, right? Of course, and up to the city level.
One thing that's quite interesting about thinking about metaverse for education is this. I always like to use this example in my classes. First thing is this. How many of you remember what dy over dx means? What's dy over dx, sir?
The first derivative
Of
the function, which
right.
is a dependency of x.
That's true, but what does it mean in real life?
That's a tricky question.
Right? It's basically a slope, rate of change, right? dy dx, that's what it is. When you learn it on a whiteboard, it's meaningless. It's a set of symbols that have no meaning whatsoever. But when you roll down a hill, when you literally, all of you roll down a hill, you understand what it means, doesn't it? Right? Now, what's interesting about experience versus just understanding from a knowledge point of view is that from a knowledge point of view, it's very external. What's it for? Oh, passing my exams. But when you understand it from a visceral point of view, actually feeling the forces, actually experiencing it, you learn it from a functional, operational point of view, and no one needs to teach you operations or functions, right? So what's interesting about this is that given all the data that you get from the digital twin, from our understanding of the world, when you go into the metaverse, you're able to understand things with your body as the sensor, instead of just your mind having to calculate stuff. It's what we call embodied learning, actually, embodied experience. And with this embodiment, you learn stuff better. Because now I understand dy dx because I've actually heard my foot doing it, and the rest of you have never heard your foot doing it. Bless you, good job. But you forgot dy dx. Oh my God. You see the difference? So I think that if we're able to put all these things into an environment that we can truly understand, not just with our eyes and our ears, but with the rest of our 22, humans have 22 senses, not 5. Yeah, we have 22 senses, right? Then suddenly we learn things from a more visceral point of view. It becomes real to us. Every decision that we make has meaning, has purpose, and therefore has weight. Think about that. So first of all, there are many things about data first. There's all data that's been produced. First of all, should we even be capturing that data? Right? What data is important to capture? That's an open question in metaverse research. And even if we could capture that data, how would we store it? How would we verify it? How would we care about it? That's where blockchain comes in, right? It becomes a decentralized system. It's not single point failure. But even if we could do all that, how do we transition that into something that's useful, that's actionable? That's where the AI comes in, right? All the adversarial different ways of figuring out what is and what isn't comes. That's how we use it. But I think the last thing that a lot of people don't think about is, should we use it? How appropriate is this information? So a lot of times people don't think about the user experience in digital spaces, the user experience design in digital spaces. It's not about what's possible. I know Infineon is this amazing, advanced company. You create a lot of cool stuff, but should you?
At forefront of many of the innovation. Now, when we work with customers, some customers permit us to access data that they're willing to share, because ultimately we can use that data to then trigger learning curves for example, AI machine learning to create a better sensor. Whether that is through algorithms for just pure software learning, or through actual hardware, masks changes, whatever it is, sensitivity changes. So then again, ultimately will bring a better user experience when they're actually doing something.
Right, and hopefully a better understanding of the human condition.
Yeah.
Ultimately. Yeah.
Ultimately, yes, to bring in that reality
That's
is
right.
what you were trying to
That's right.
articulate. Yeah, but you have to use data, as you were saying, responsibly, right?
I think one thing we need to acknowledge is that we might not know what's going to happen, and nobody can be 100% sure of the risks that we have in the new world, since we are still taking one step forward, little steps forward in this new world. And I think it's more about the active, taking very, very active steps to potentially try to mitigate it and to act on previous incidents and see how we can minimize the risks that are involved.
I just add on, you said the data is a challenge, I agree. At the same time, actually data also provides business opportunities, because I believe if not 100%, probably 99% of the enterprise want to own your data. You want to acquire your data, you want to own your data, you want to make sense of your data.
Monetize your data.
Right? So before you talk about, go to the, open place, or share the data. Okay, so that actually presents us a lot of business opportunities. One of the fundamental things we were trying to do is actually to help our customer to get much easier to create their own digital twin, to manage their own content with their own data, rather than have to rely on professional service, or third parties. Always, have a small changes, I have to call somebody else to get in. Because with the technology development, you can have a local environment. You can do that much easier. So in the future, we believe actually the enterprise metaverse will be your own, but they are connected. They are able to share information, but you still own your knowledge. You still own your digital assets.
Maybe just a question. How many of you in the audience have used a VR device before?
I haven't.
Oh, wow, okay. Okay, that's about 20%, which is impressive. But I think one point is that of course, we are we look at all opportunities that are out there. We are bullish about all the metaverse related technologies, but to be super realistic, a lot of people will still experience the metaverse on 2D in the near future, 5 years, for example. And I think it could be accessibility to devices. It could be, a lot of countries now, they are not using smartphones even. So how can we take a leap to get there in a 3D world? So I just to want to add on to that as well. So I think one of the things,
people is here, they may not agree with you.
Yeah, but I think so. So one thing that we are trying to do a lot as well is to how can we enable 2D experiences to more people. Be it the announcement with Microsoft, where of course you can work with your colleagues in Microsoft Teams, but how can you still have 3D connect with 2D at the same time, while we wait for more people to kind of catch up together with us and bring people along. So,
And again, I would say keep an open mind. Yeah. And then I think the world is there. And I will quote the Infineon phrase, right? Connect the digital world with the real world. And here we go with the metaverse.
Adding on to that, I think as well is to just go out there, talk to more people, observe more around you. I think recently saw a lot of trends of like my nephews and nieces watching Roblox, Minecraft videos on YouTube. I was like, we were mind blown. It's like, why are kids watching videos of people playing games inside when they are not even playing it? And I think it's kind of like adds on to the entire metaverse or virtual world narrative, right? Where people as young as that can already get involved in all these things while we are still thinking, what is so interesting about that? So I think even learning from like kids, nephews and nieces, what they are looking at, coming to conferences like this, I think is a great a testament that everyone is here interested to learn more and keeping an open mind, I would say. I would agree.
Short answer, talk to me.
Okay. You'll be quite busy after the panel, I imagine.
Okay, I think the one talk to me is a do, and the one thing probably not do. This is my, we have done more than 100 digital twin projects around the world. We have been talking, hundreds of the business, enterprise, across the region. I think one thing that I would say not to do, particularly for business leaders, is that do not always ask the first question, what's the return of my investment? Mm-hmm. If you want to be leader in your industry, if you want to be ahead of the curve, you won't ask the question, what's the return of investment for deploying internet? How can you justify that? First of all, do you believe it? This is the future. Secondly, do you really know your business and talk to the expert to find out the business case? And then you do this, you try. I think that's action, it's not just a talk. You have to take that first step in because you want to be the leader.
In short, you're no longer bound by the rules of what people tell you. You have the ability to control it and make it happen. So with that inquisitiveness literally in mind, start doing the work, right? Start making your questioning mind worthwhile because now's the time and you have the power to do so. So get to it.
We're just at the beginning of the journey, right? Let's say we create the digital twin of this room. If we say we want to change the light in the digital twin and in a very simple way, actually it's not so easy because, you have to recognize this, right? You have to actually make the no-code or low-code effort to easily to change that. There are a lot of technology actually needed to work on that. Okay, make this easy and also use the AI to automatically recognize, this is a light, there's a CCTV, or even can actually connect them automatically. There's a lot of things can be done and they need to work on that. So we're at the beginning of the journey overall, but it started already. Yeah.
Dr. Liu is thinking very hard on that.
I think there's actually a lot of digital twin going on right now, actually. Yeah. There's a lot of digital twin going on. It's just that it might not be framed as digital twin. Anytime you have a real-time model of the world, your weather models, your factory situational models, these are all considered digital twin, actually. Mm-hmm. The question is not about how many digital twins there are, it's how we interact with that information to make sense of it. Right now, everything is on flat panels, everything is on graphs. But what if we could feel the machine's pain? Would you tune it down a little? What if we could, right, literally smell the electrical sensors that are coming out, but would you try and save energy? There are lots of digital twins everywhere. It's how you make sense of the data that is missing.
And Dr. Liu, Infineon, we can feel the machine's pain through predictive maintenance that we got, and we can smell it with our new sensors like CO2.